Alright, hey guys, creating another video on how to survive if you're a noob and you're born as an Eve, or if you born into a beginning civilization and you're a complete beginner. First off, as an Eve, you're gonna want to find a location to set up your, I don't know, your civilization or get your family going. So your best place to start off in the civilization would be next to a swamp, for example, because you're gonna need water. Two most important things in this game are gonna be water and obviously food. So I want to say food and water. You're gonna want to start your base off, preferably next to swamplands. Usually you should have green grasslands around because you're gonna need soil and food and berries and whatnot. Now, a common misconception that a lot of people have when they're first starting off on this game is that you have to live in berry trees, which is not true. There's a lot of other ways to get food, like, for example, wild onions, banana trees in the jungle. Also carrots in the prairie, which you hit with a sharp stone. And also something called a burdock, which I guess is essentially like a carrot. First thing you want to do is create a home marker so you can find your way home. You do this by hitting a sapling with a sharp stone, which will create a skewer, and hit it with a round stone, which will create your home marker. Now the next thing you want to create would be a basket. In order to get a basket, you're going to need a sharp stone. Once you have that sharp stone, you're going to want to go ahead to the reeds and cut them down with that sharp stone. You're going to need to get 2 reeds in order to create one basket. You can also create a basket by using wheat, for example, but you have to thresh it with either a curved branch or a straight branch, and you have to combine them together. Now, once you have your basket, the first thing you want to create is going to be an adobe kiln and an adobe cooker. You create this by binding your clay ball with reeds. Or you could also do it with wheat stock. Now, once you get your adobe, you're going to want to create your base for your oven or your adobe kiln. You simply do this by getting a round stone and by clicking on the adobe, which will create your adobe oven base. Now, once you get your adobe oven base, you can add another adobe ball to create an adobe cooker, and then add one more adobe ball to create adobe forge. And then repeat the process to get your adobe oven. Now, once you do that, you're going to want to create bowls and possibly plates if you want. You do that by collecting clay again. And you go and get a round stone, and you hit that clay ball once with a round stone to create a bowl, and twice to create a plate. Now, you can't do anything with those until you actually fire them up. They're going to be called wet bowl, wet plate. You need to fire those up in an adobe kiln before you can actually use them. Now, in order to get set up for this, you're going to want to create tongs, which is super simple. You just get a long straight branch and you hit it once with a sharp stone. Then you find a piece of flint and hit the long straight shaft with it once to create your tongs. Next you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create rope. So you can start crafting up whatever you need. Now, you combine 2 milkweeds to get a thread, and you combine 2 threads to get a rope. A rope is what you're going to need in order to create pretty much everything that you're going to want. Don't do what I do. Wait until the milkweed matures before you start plucking them. Now, once you get your rope, it's pretty much easy from there. The first thing you're going to probably want to create would be an axe. So you go and hit a long straight branch twice to create something called a short shaft. Once you get that, you can bind your rope with a short staff and add a sharp stone, which will create an axe. Now, the axe is going to be used to get kindling and whatnot, which you're going to need to create a fire. Now, the next thing you're going to want to create will probably be a firebow drill. Now, in order to create a firebow drill, you're going to need a curved branch. Once you get a curved branch, you're gonna hit it once with a sharp stone. Gonna combine rope with your curved branch to create something called a bow drill bow. You're also gonna need a short shaft, which you're just gonna click on your bow drill to create the fire bow drill. Now here's a recap of what you need. You need a curved branch, you need a rope, and you're gonna need a short shaft, which you attach to create the bow drill. After that, you're gonna need one more long branch. You're gonna hit that once with a sharp stone. Now, next thing you need to do is you need to get kindling, and you're gonna get this by taking a branch and by cutting it with your stone axe that you had made earlier. Now, once you have a kindling, you're gonna need to get tinder, and you get that by clicking on a juniper tree, which you'll find in the prairies. Next you're gonna need is a leaf. You can get leaves by either a maple tree or a Lombardy tree. Now once you have your leaves and all that, you click on your fire bow drill. You're gonna click on your long straight shaft. You're gonna get a leaf, which you can get by the trees as I explained earlier. You're gonna click on the long straight shaft. Then you're gonna click on your tinder. Then you're gonna pick up your kindling, all right? And you're gonna wait until that starts a little bit of a fire, and now you got your fire. Now once you got your fire going, you can go ahead and fire up those bowls by putting kindling in your adobe kiln. Now you're gonna take those tongs that you had crafted earlier and click on the bowls, and then go click on the forge that's on fire in order for them to be usable. Now once you have your bowls, you're pretty much all set to start farming. So what you're gonna wanna do next is create a hoe, and you do this by getting a long straight shaft, combining it with rope, and finding a sharp stone and combining that with that, which will create your hoe. Now in order to get soil, you're going to need to find these clumps of fertile soil deposits. You're going to need a basket in order to collect it, and you'll find them in the grasslands. You simply click on that with the basket. Now once you have your fertile soil pile, you're going to use your bowls, and you will get 3 fertile soil per basket. Now once you have your fertile soil down, you want to get your hoe, and you're going to click on those soil piles twice to create a deep tilled row. Now in order to start planting, for example, gooseberry bushes, you're going to need to get a gooseberry, and you're going to need a flint. And you're going to click on the gooseberry, which will create a gooseberry seed, and you plant it in your deep tilled row. Now you're going to need to water it, which you get from a pond. And you just click on wherever you planted it. You can also plant carrots this way. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to make bellows. Pretty simple, easy task. A couple steps involved. First off, you're going to want to make snares to catch rabbits. Create a snare by getting a long straight branch and hitting it 3 times to get stakes. And once you got those stakes, you need to get a rope and just click on those stakes to get the snare. Now, once you got your snares, you want to go out to the prairies and get rabbits. You want to make sure that when you put your snares down that it's a family rabbit. You got to make sure that there's a baby next to it. Otherwise, you're not going to have any rabbits to catch in the future. Go ahead and click the snare down next to the rabbit hole. Give it a second, and you'll snare the rabbit. And then you just click on it to pick it up. Now, once you got that, you bring back to your base. And you're going to want to skin the rabbit, which is easy. You're going to need to skin the rabbit with flint. You get it by hitting a sharp stone on these weird looking rocks. Once you get your flint, you click on your rabbit, and you'll get a rabbit fur and a skinned rabbit. Now with that, you're going to need to get a skewer so you can cook it up. You get a skewer by cutting down a sapling, as I had showed you earlier, with a sharp stone. The saplings look like this. Now once you get the skewer, you click on the rabbit, and you need to make sure that the fire is out. Now, once you cook the rabbit, you can go ahead and eat it. Now you place the bones on the ground, and in order to get a needle, you pick up the bones. You'll get a rabbit bow, which you hit with a piece of flint to make it into a needle, and then you take your thread, which you got from milkweed, to create a needle and thread. Now, next thing you need to do is you need to get a rabbit fur and cut it with a piece of flint to make 2 pieces of rabbit fur. And take your needle and thread as you got earlier and click on that to get empty water pouch. Now, once you get the empty water pouch, you're gonna need to create tongs again. Which you do with a flint against a long straight branch. And you take those tongs and you click on the empty water pouch, which will make the bellow. Now, the bellow isn't complete. Once you do this, you need to make a head for that. And you make a head by getting a skewer and getting a clay ball. And click on the clay ball with the skewer to make a nozzle head. Now, with the nozzle head, you have to heat it up in the Adobe Forge before you can use it. You heat it up with the tongs like you did with the bowls and plates to create your clay nozzle. That you attach to the bellows. Now it's complete and you can use it. So yeah, this took me 12 hours to edit. So if you could leave a like, I would appreciate it. If not, that's fine. I hope this was informative enough. I hope that it wasn't too complicated for you. I really honestly tried to make it as not complicated as possible. There's a lot to do in this game and a lot to learn, so it's kind of difficult simplifying these. I'm trying my best. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like always, have a good day.
Sometimes I struggle in this place, been in circles several days, never knowing the right way.